I don't know if it's because Raw has been awful for a while, or if this show is actually as good as I think it was. But either way, I do not care because I enjoyed watching Raw, and I have not been able to say that for a very, very long time. Oh man, but hey, let's get into this review. July 16th, 2012, Raw 999, night after Money in the Bank last night. Let's get into it. CM Punk opens the show. You would think it would have been John Cena, but you know, we saved that for later. But CM Punk comes out and he talks about retaining his title and about how, on episode 1 of Raw, never would you think a guy like him would be as successful as he did. And he's, talks about being the best in the world. He's an unlikely champion, all that stuff. He's been going for so long, and it's just crazy. He talks about last year where he, dropped the pipe bomb and changed the landscape of everything. And, just going into a bunch of stuff, which makes sense, because all is valid stuff. And then Big Show comes out and he's, interrupted by the Big Show. And hey, Big Show's like, you're lucky because if I would have won Money in the Bank last night, I'd be cashing on you right now. And they had a match later, and it was announced, and he said, hey, Cena could come out after I knock you out tonight in our match. He'd cash in. And Punk just kind of sits there like, huh. Kind of thinking about it like, that's true. So, not a bad opening segment at all. Just having a good time. And then we get our first match of the night, the PTP Primetime Plays with A-Dub. A-W, listen, A-W is hilarious. He is my guy. So we get them versus Kofi and Truth. Kofi and Truth win. They're the champs, So, but, nothing. It was fine. I mean, sure, will we see it at SummerSlam? But they're just going off last night where, they lost and then they went and confronted them and R-Truth threw the water bottle on AW and all that fun stuff. But Kofi Truth win, Trouble in Paradise, and just crazy stuff. And then backstage, AJ, and she's just chilling, and then Daniel Bryan comes up. He's like, hey, I want to say sorry. I made a lot of mistakes. I used you as like a puppet or whatever to try to get the WWE Championship, and that was wrong of me. So I want to ask you something or tell you something later in the night. And she's like, whoa. And then Eve comes in, and she's mad. She's like, hey, you left me last week, and she's all pissed. And she's talking about, hey, it's going to be you and AJ against me and a person of my choosing, and payback's going to be what AJ is. And I said, hey. And Daniel Bryan's like, and she's like, well, what were you going to tell me? He's like, I'll tell you later. Kiss her on the cheek, walks off. Then we get Alberto Del Rio versus Zack Ryder. And I like this Alberto Del Rio more, than the normal, how Alberto Del Rio is. But it just seems like they've kept it going a little longer this time, but it seems every time he loses a title shot, like he loses a title match at pay-per-view, the next time on Raw, he's aggressive, Del Rio. He's pissed. He takes no prisoners. And they've been doing it for a little longer, so I won't complain. But I'm just saying, it's just, when is this aggression going to turn into something good? Like he's going to win, well, finally, but whatever. He gets the cross arm breaker on Zack Ryder and gets the win. Zack Ryder taps out, and he continues to attack him because he's ruthless. He's aggressive Del Rio now. He evolves from boring Del Rio to aggressive Del Rio, like a Pokemon. And lo and behold, who returns? But Rey Mysterio comes out. Did I freak out? No. But am I going to complain about anybody? If you guys freaked out? Absolutely not. You guys like who you want. I heard his music and I just kind of looked up like, oh, cool. But if you were pumped to see him, then good for you. When The Rock comes back, back then, well, there weren't many people that wasn't excited about The Rock coming back after 7 years. But just saying. You guys might not be as excited as I was, so you guys, whatever, don't judge me. I won't judge you about Rey Mysterio. It's whatever. So he comes out, helps out Ryder, attacks Del Rio, and hits him with the 619. So we'll see if this is going into a feud or if this is just kind of like get a face pop because he's beating up Zack Ryder. Then we get Heath Slater. He's just one man. It's the one-man Southern rock band comes out, and he's standing in the ring, and he's like, hey, let's just get this over with. I know there's a Raw legend about to come out. This is not my first rodeo. I've been through this. Rikishi's music hit, and I just, hey. Rikishi comes out. Rikishi's my boy. I got a Rikishi action figure. Rikishi was one of those guys during the Attitude Era where, sure he's not The Rock or Stone Cold Triple H, but it didn't matter. that's why people always say, well, people like the Attitude Era so much, but it wasn't even that good. The storyline, it's not about the storylines. It was just all the talent they had. They had so much talent at the top, but they also had so much talent at the middle and bottom to where people had their slot. You didn't have to be up here to be considered a big deal, to where now anybody that's not John Cena, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Sheamus now, they try to make look irrelevant. So Rikishi was one of those mid guys where sure he's not up here, but it didn't matter. He was a focal part of the thing, a focal point. So he comes out, gets the stink face on Slater. He had to. Ends up dropping on him from the ropes. Pop! 1, 2, 3. Rikishi wins. Obviously, lights go off. Lights come back on. His two sons, the Usos, are in there. They dance. So it was a good time. I like seeing Rikishi, and it's one of those things. It's just one of those little things where sure you can say the Usos or the sons of Rikishi, and it's cool to hear. But I think it'll help them just get that little extra rub, like actually seeing them in there with Rikishi, because everyone's pumped to see Rikishi. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm watching the ninth inning. Cardinals score 1 run. Cardinals. Did they tie it? Did they tie it? They did tie it. 2-2 Cardinals. Let's go. But yeah, I think it'll give them that little extra rub, like actually seeing them in the ring with Rikishi. Like, oh okay, these really are his kids. That's awesome. So I thought it was cool. I mean, in the end, he did it for the Rock. So whatever. But then we get the match. Eve comes out, the mixed tag, and Eve comes out. So many mixed tags lately, but I did not have a problem with this one. Why? Because Eve's partner was The Miz. Man, I love The Miz. I'm so glad he's back. I miss that dude. He is securely in my Fave 5. Well, I love how I have to reiterate this thing. I'm just trying to get my point across for those new viewers. If you haven't watched, all the people that watch this from the beginning know how I roll. CM Punk, Randy Orton, Miz, Ziggler, Barrett, Rhodes. Those are the dudes that are up here. Everyone else is kind of chilling. Well, everyone knows The Rock is up here. But I'm talking about guys right now. But yeah, so people, you know how excited I was to see The Miz back. He comes back. He has the new look. It's different. I think it's cool. He doesn't look so much like a little pretty boy. He actually looks like he's there to fight. But yeah. So Miz ends up getting kicked off by AJ, but then he distracts the ref so she can't get the pin. And then Eve rolls up AJ with a small package, but Miz is still caught up with the ref, so Daniel Bryan rolls in there and reverses it. 1, 2, 3. AJ gets the win, and Miz and then lose, whatever. So I thought that was cool. Whatever, it's just showing. And then I don't know. I'm not going to complain about this because I liked pretty much everything else, and I didn't really have a problem with this. It's just kind of confusing. It's like they hate each other, then they hate each other, then they like each other, then they hate each other. They do this, but then Dan Bryan's like, I want to say something I should have said to you a long time ago. I love you. Oh, Cardinals are dropping it in, and they will score, and they are winning. Let's go. But yeah, we're in baseball mode now. Like, it takes a while because the Heat are my up here, so I'm still cooling down from the finals, but I'm easing into baseball again for the year. But yeah, so Dan Bryan's like, I love you, AJ, and goes and gets a ring and says, last week I asked you for the wrong reasons. I asked you, will you marry me? And AJ did a good job of selling, I don't want to, I don't want to, I kind of want to, I don't know. So you're like, what's she going to say? So, I mean, at least it brought some in there. Like, whoa. Then she says yes, and they hug it out and just chant yes to the whole crowd. And, I mean, this appeared to me like a Daniel Bryan face turn, but the crowd didn't really help it out with all the booing. So, yeah, but whatever. It wasn't that bad. Like, I'm fine with this. And then we come back, and it's a Raw 1000 thing. Yeah, they showed like 6, and I'm only talking about the one that had The Rock. Who cares? They just showed The Rock with the smoking skull belt, threw it over the bridge, threw Stone Cold over the bridge, said, get your monkey ass in the water. But yeah, and then all of a sudden they announced that they're getting married next week on Raw 1. Well, of course. Why not? Let's 6 days. Let's do it. So I look forward to that next week. Then Jack Swagger comes out, and I'm like, ugh, Jack Swagger. But then it's Ryback, and I'm like, hey, I love me the Ryback. What? You guys have any salads? But before the match can start, Swagger attacks him, and I'm like, hey. Swagger hits the gut wrench powerbomb and the Swagger bomb before the match even starts. And it was kind of confusing because the referee was kind of acting like the match had started, but Michael Cole kept reiterating, no, the bell hasn't rung, the bell hasn't rung. But the ref's just like looking at it like, yeah, like trying to make counts and stuff, but Ryback was getting handled, but then Ryback comes back, freaks out, hits like 3 straight power bombs on him, and tosses him out of the ring. And so it wasn't a match. Ryback just stands in there yelling, "Feed him more," because we should. So just cool segment there, whatever. Just Jack Swagger getting handled, nothing wrong with that. And then, I was waiting for this. Dolph Ziggler comes out with Vicky, Mr. Money in the Bank. He talks about how he will be better than all champions. He will be better than Bret Hart. He will be better than Stone Cold. He will be better than The Rock. And the crowd's just like, no, we love those guys. No. And Jericho comes out. Uh-oh. I see a feud blooming. And he comes out and right, he was about to talk. Dolph cuts him off like, this is, for once in your life, this is not about you. This is about me. And Dolph just rips into him. All I hear is how you're the best in the world. You're the best in the world at losing. When's the last time you won a match that mattered? And Jericho just sits there. He's like, oh, you can't remember either? Neither can I. Dolph just lights into him like, have you lost your touch? Have you lost your touch? Have you lost your touch? Boom! Jericho snaps, hits a code breaker, and just walks off. SummerSlam for the briefcase. Does Jericho have room to put one more guy over? Just saying. That looks, to me anyways, that's my guess of what it's going towards, but tell me what you think. It could be something else. And then we get Brodus Clay versus JTG. Brodus Clay wins, and kids dance in the ring. Perfect. And then we get to the main event. CM Punk versus The Big Show. This match, I mean, they hyped it up so much during the night, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care. But I enjoyed this match a lot. There was false finishes. The crowd was getting into it. Big Show or Punk got him down, finally ends up hitting a big elbow off the top rope. You think it's over. Big Show kicks out. Punk kicks out a choke slam. Good match. I liked it. And after a while, Big Show ends up getting disqualified after he hits the ref. Whatever. He gets DQ'd. And before this match started, I tweeted out, I was like, guaranteed. Punk gets laid out somehow. Cena comes out, acts like he's going to cash in. Challenges to SummerSlam. I was close. But, so he gets DQ'd, and come on, get over his head. It's not happening. But, so yeah, Big Show gets DQ'd, and he lays him out. Punk's just down for the count. Cena's music hits, comes out with the briefcase, and he stands there, and he asks for a microphone, and he starts talking. He's like, my announcement, and Big Show just freaks out, like, do it. Just egging him on, like, look how weak he is. We know what you're going to do. You'd be an idiot not to do it. Do it. Just freaking out. And Cena's like, no. And he's like, Punk, you have 1 week to prepare for the biggest match of your life because at Raw 1000, I'm cashing in Money in the Bank against you for the WWE Championship. And Punk's kind of like, okay, let's go. And then Cena's like, but for my big announcement to do with the briefcase, and pop, smacks Big Show over the head. Then we have a stare down with the briefcase and the title. And Cena's saying, you can't see him. Punk's like, okay, let's do this. So, and that's the end of the show. I really liked this show. Like, I haven't been able to say I enjoyed Raw for a long time. Maybe it's because I got to watch it by myself and Jake wasn't here. Negativity to everything. Completely kidding. But, I mean, it wasn't going to be that hard to top last week's Raw. I mean, they haven't been anything, but I really enjoyed this thing. So, yeah. So, next week, it's time. Raw 1000. We got Daniel Bryan and AJ getting married. We got DX reunion. I'm not a Triple H guy, but hey, when Triple H is with DX, yeah. So we got a wedding, we got DX, we got Brock Lesnar talking to Triple H, we got The Rock, and we got CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Big time. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'm interested to see where they're going. I'm actually excited after a Raw for the first time in so very long. But that's it for this video. Go ahead and subscribe up above if you haven't already. Like this video. Leave me your thoughts about Money in the Bank, this Raw, next Raw, whatever you want to talk about. I'm happy. And that's more than I can say for a long time after watching a Raw. But I'll see you guys later. Good night.